Welcome to Take 10. I'm Jennifer Madden. Mayor Michael Wiles of the city of Englewood recently made a special trip to Israel, and joining us now to talk more about his participation in the Conference of Mayors' visit to Jerusalem is Mayor Michael Wiles. Thanks for joining us today on Take 10.
How are you, Jennifer?
Great, and it's great to have you here to talk about your trip that you took last month. It was the beginning of May. You went to Jerusalem. Why did you decide to get involved in this Conference of Mayors that took the trip?
I was actually asked to attend it by the U.S. Conference of Mayors. For 22 years, mayors from across the world had actually visited the state of Israel. Unfortunately, for the last 2 years, they had to cancel the trip because of security threats. And I was asked by both the American Jewish Congress, the municipality of Jerusalem, and the U.S. Conference of Mayors if I would want to join the 7 other mayors from the United States attending a conference of approximately 40 mayors.
Now, the mayors from across the United States, what states were they from?
The mayor of Cleveland, Ohio came. There was a mayor from Billings, Montana. There were a few mayors from California. There were mayors from all over the world that joined these mayors in Jerusalem. Mayors from Croatia, mayors from Poland, from Latvia, from Rwanda, from countries in South America that I had not even known had a presence of interest in that region as well.
Now, you recently, not too long ago, maybe like 2 months ago or so, had the mayor of Jerusalem here in Englewood.
Yeah, I was actually asked by his office if I would host him. It was his first time since he was elected that he was being introduced to the elected officials in the United States. They brought him to Mayor Bloomberg in New York, who then hosted him with the governor, and then they asked if I would bring the mayor of Jerusalem to my home and introduce him to the leadership in the state assembly, the state senate, and the governor. We had a wonderful event, and the mayor at that time extended an offer for me to come to Jerusalem with other mayors, and I took him up on this offer, and we had a wonderful, wonderful time.
Tell us what it was like, your trip to Jerusalem. Tell us about what was the first thing you did when you went out there? I know you did many things, but the first thing you did when you got there?
Well, we were invited to a conference, a reception, if you would, at City Hall, where we sat around a huge table, and we all had microphones, much like the United Nations, because everybody could understand only through a different language and interpreter. And somebody played the clarinet, some very important and nostalgic songs from different countries throughout the world as the mayor introduced what our protocol would be for the following week. We basically had sessions at City Hall every morning, and in the afternoons we went out to different sites, and then we actually traveled up north to military bases and the like. Some of the sessions that we had, some of the speakers that came were extraordinary. We had the Deputy Prime Minister, we heard from the U.S. Ambassador Dan Kurtzer. I had a chance actually to have a private briefing from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the State of Israel. And some of the excursions that we took us to the Hadassah Medical Center, took us to the Homeland Security military base, where we had a chance to see how Israel responds to potential biological and chemical attacks.
So they gave you a demonstration?
Oh, absolutely. We had demonstrations. They gave us literature. We were able to not only take notes and hear lectures, but to see videos and actually touch equipment and learn what it is that we felt we didn't know and what we felt we should bring home to our law enforcement and intelligence communities, because I have to tell you, the presentations were exacting. Israel in many ways is light years ahead of where the United States is because they've been living under the aegis of terrorism for so long. And I'm very grateful that we had this trip, and mayors across the world can take great comfort not only to their constituents but to their police, fire, ambulance services in the technology and the information that's available to us as elected officials.
Mayor, we're just going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Mayor Michael Wiles is going to talk more about his trip to Jerusalem as part of the Conference of Mayors, so stay tuned for more Take 10.